Here, and what we're going to talk about today is whether a roof is suitable for coating or not. Now, we've already looked at this roof. This roof does need replaced. We want to show you where it's salvageable, where it's not salvageable, looking at the overall picture of the roof, and then what's going to be the most cost efficient for the customer. You know, they've got to look at this both long-term, short-term viability. So let's take a look down here, Yvonne. This is a built-up roof, a 3-ply system, and if you look in through here, you can see it's in pretty good shape, actually. It's definitely got some age to it. It's starting to weather, but it is salvageable. Now, something like this, because of a lot of the alligatoring and the fact that it's going to have to be a primary water barrier, silicone, if we're looking at something like this, would be the best solution for the customer. It's going to extend the life out probably somewhere in that 15 to 18 year range. But I also want to show you some other areas. Let's go back over here. You can see this roof has been repaired and worked on multiple times. And we get down into here, you see a lot more alligatoring along the way. You also see where this roof is really brittle. This asphalt has started to break away. I can show you in other areas where it's broken away with our feet. What it's telling us is this asphalt's lived past its useful life cycle. To get in here and fill this up with silicone, we're probably talking 3, maybe 4 gallons a square. And that becomes the cost feasible side of things. Is it starts to get really expensive to go in and do this, where it's actually going to work and make sense for the customer. If you come over here and see some of this areas, you can see where the alligatoring's broken off, and you see just lightly rubbing my foot against it how brittle everything is. So we have to get in here and solve that, and there's nothing to say this doesn't start breaking off once we get the coating replaced with it. So also some other considerations. You can see down here we've got some ponding water. It would tell us that silicone, if we were restoring it, is a good solution, especially in this bottom half of the roof. But we've got all these vents. You can see we've X'd them off. All are leaking. Considerations all the way along. Let's look at the parapet walls. You can see they've had some parapet wall work done where they've had massive leaks from before. We're gonna go look at the other side of the building and go. And you can see we've got them marked off. That's where we're gonna have to tear them off and then back up where there is no paint. Those are gonna be something we can actually foam over. So we look at the roof, overall condition. Most of the bathroom vents are in pretty good shape, but then you start to come up here and look where they didn't have the repair done. And what we've got water that's coming in. In this particular building, this is where the majority of their leaks are. Water's coming in off of this wall. You can see right through here where that's broken away here, and this is one of the areas that's a little better than the rest. You can see this is a problem all the way through. We've got water leaking behind this building all the way through. So if we were going to restore the roof, and this was in a condition we could restore it, we'd want to come in and run foam in an area something like this, where we get it above. We'd have to cut all this out, get it above the flashing, tie it into the existing roof. That's a doable thing if the field was in better shape. So you can see over here, the building has tons of leaks. There's moisture back in behind this whole thing. You can see some repairs, and this is something that's actually very repairable with coatings. You can see it's broken right there. We can actually cut this off, repair that relatively easy. Again, more of your parapet walls here. None of this gets fixed with coatings. All this has to be done and completely reworked. So that's going to add time, expense, and cost to the job process. You can see some of the other areas we marked all the way through here. I think overall picture, what it's telling us is that the roof is just at the end of its life cycle. Now, we don't think the roof needs to be torn off because there's not that much underneath it. Weight-wise, it's not going to be an issue. If we do a light product, a foam, a TPO, something like that, it can be a pretty cost-efficient way to go about things. But we do want to look at this thing as an overall picture. You can see more damage here. You can see damage here. All these things, when we start looking at the cost points of what it's going to take to put a coating system on, pretty well just runs this one out of the ballpark.